Good morning and welcome to Today in L.A., brought to you by Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep on the bypass. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, the Bill Jackson Chevrolet Picks of the Week right here this morning. And we hope everybody's doing well this morning on a cool
It's not
day.
That cool. Not that cool.
Well, that's what I like. I like it sort of perfect, sort of cool.
Crisp. Would they say crisp? A
Exactly.
crisp morning?
Exactly. The leaves are falling. The leaves are changing. It's just probably if you take away spring, the fall is the prettiest time of the year. In fact, I think the fall is the prettiest time. With the colors of the leaves and everything, and beautiful. It's a great time. Goshen's got their Christmas parade. Pull that off, if you will, Rice. Their Christmas parade's coming up on December the 6th, and they're gonna have a big pancake supper. Boy, that'd be fun. We need to ride down there now for that.
Tell about where it is.
That's gonna be in Goshen, Alabama, and there we go. Let me tell you, this thing's taking on everything this morning. Of course, I hope everybody's getting ready for a big weekend. You know, a lot of people that can't get away will take their Thanksgiving on Saturday or Sunday instead of Thursday, because you can't be two places at once. Like my situation, it was my children go to Myrtle Beach for one of my children's husbands from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, North Carolina, wherever. And they go there usually for Thanksgiving. They come to our place for Christmas.
They have two Thanksgivings.
That's right. But they like what they'll do. They'll come down this weekend and have Thanksgiving with us and everybody then, and then they'll come. The rest of the family will come back Thanksgiving Day at the beach. So we're going to be on the shores of the Gulf of Mexico during the
that's a good place.
Most of the eating part of the holiday. And, of course, all you Troy University students get out today and don't have to come back till Monday week. So that's a nice little holiday for them. And,
they are out 9 days?
That's right. They've got, well, not a day, I mean Friday. They get out Friday, which today is Thursday.
Yeah. Well, the Troy City Schools is out all next week.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have that when I was in school, Mike.
They usually gave you Wednesday and Thursday.
That's it. And I think sometimes we went half a day on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's right. They gave you Thursday and Friday. That's what they did. They gave you Thursday and Friday. And but it is a wonderful time of the year. I want to remind you to order your fruit. Get your fruit ordered. They said yesterday was the last day, but I believe that you could probably get some fruit ordered. And it is...
At Charles Simpson High School.
Yeah.
It's a band fundraiser for the band.
No question about it, and it's wonderful.
And we're having
fundraiser.
the chili cook-off Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon at the Pioneer Museum.
And that starts from 11 to 2. They'll be serving the food from 11 to 2.
10 teams of master chefs in Troy and Pike County have made their best chili, and you can vote on who's the best, and you can eat some there or take some home with you. I'm going to be one of the judges of the cook-off.
Yeah, I was wondering, you going to be full. What are you going to do if the chili's too hot to eat? You know, some people like to make it real hot. I'm not big on the hot part.
They better have a lot of Cokes or, I wonder if the...
I'm sure
do you
they
drink
will.
cold beer with chili, or you can't do that?
And you're an adult. I think there is a place for adult to buy adult beverage if you want to.
But I usually don't drink cold beer with chili.
Yeah.
A Coca-Cola, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Hope everybody's doing well this morning and getting ready for a big weekend. We got a call coming in. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. We roam from downtown Troy to South Grundy Street, where our studios are. We go across the nation on Facebook and across the world on Facebook. So if you know anybody out in Seattle this morning, I've got an aunt that lives out there. I'd love for her to be watching the show this morning live on Troy Cable.
I got a first cousin that lives in Pasadena, California.
That's right.
I need to tell her to start watching.
That's right. Live from Troy Cable Vision on South Front Street.
Loss for the Troy Trojans, basketball team last night. I thought they were about to pull a huge upset against Texas A&M.
Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I watched the whole second half. Troy was up by 8 at the half.
Oh, man.
So he led with about 4 minutes left, and then unfortunately went extremely cold, and a little walk-on point guard for A&M was about 5'7", made 2 threes, and of course made all his free throws, and kind of put the A&M up by 10. About a minute left, and then Troy went on a run and cut it to 3 with 12 seconds left, and never had a shot to tie it to go into overtime, but only got beat by 4 points.
Oh, me.
They were a 16-point underdog.
Oh, me.
That's good. That's great. I mean, another heartbreaker, but the fact that they were that competitive with a big SEC program.
Who was good for Troy, Mike?
The kid out of Carver was really good. He scored 20 points.
Oh, number three, Adams. Yeah, he's been good all year, shooting the three.
He's a big, strong guard for Troy. I mean, he looks like an SEC player.
Yeah. Well, that was something. I wish you'd call me and said, "Daddy, the game's on."
Yeah, I was trying to get you to listen to it. I figured you were maybe at the country club or something.
No, I'm sure those guys probably watched it though out there. I don't know. I just had some other things going on, and didn't even listen to it. I don't know why.
Yeah, Buzz Peterson, who was a great coach at Marquette and also a really good coach at Virginia Tech, is now the head coach at A&M, and he's a guy that's very animated on the sidelines. He was just sweating profusely through his suit.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I like it.
At the half, I've never heard of a coach doing this. He was so upset that he didn't let his team go back to the locker room. He made them sit on the bench and coached them from the actual bench at halftime.
Oh, boy.
I've never heard of that either.
Yeah, no question about it. Jim Jackson, we're waiting for Jim Jackson to appear, and of course he's the owner of Bill Jackson Ford and Bill Jackson Chevrolet right here in Troy, and of course this is Bill Jackson Picks of the Week right here on Troy Cable.
You were talking about the coach sweating profusely. Did y'all follow the latest story of Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein?
No, tell me about that. If it's not,
well,
not profane.
Prince Andrew was accused of being one of Jeffrey Epstein's clients in his little trafficking ring.
Yeah.
And he denies it, of course. Well, last Saturday he went on BBC, the big network in Britain, to deny the charges of this one girl that said she was with him. And there's a famous picture, I'm sure a lot of you have seen, of Prince Andrew with this 17-year-old girl in a townhouse in London. But he still denies that he did anything with her. And one reason and the girl said she met him at a club in London, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell took her to, and she actually danced with the prince. And she said that one thing she remembers about is he sweated profusely. And that was one of the details she provided. And then they went back to the place, and we won't talk about anything else. But in the interview, he said, well, I know the story. I never have any recollection of meeting this girl. And I furthermore, I don't think it can be true because I have a medical condition where I cannot sweat. He said he got this, he was in the Falklands War apparently, and he was shot at, and he had a rush of adrenaline when he was shot at, and this gave him a medical condition where he could not sweat. So for her to say that he was sweating was a lie. He's saying, well, wouldn't you know it, about 8 hours after this interview airs, the pictures of a Prince Andrew from that era sweating profusely start pouring in,
Yeah.
All kind of pictures showing him with a soaked shirt. So who do you believe? The little 17-year-old girl that was a towel girl at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago, or the Duke of York?
Mike, only Bill Rice could be the lead story on that this morning.
This is a big story in the world.
Also, big news at Charles Henderson High School. Coach Jones's daughter, who's one of the top players in the state, has decided where she's going to attend to play college basketball. I was kind of surprised to hear where she was going. She's going to be a Belmont Bruin.
Yeah, I've heard that they've been recruiting her a long time, and she's a good player. There's no question about it.
The big tall forward center Samara Moore is going to stay home, and she's signing with the Troy Trojans.
All right. So that's my girl right there. I'm gonna follow her all year long and give her as much pub as I can possibly get.
I thought Nora Jones. I really thought she was good enough to play in the SEC. I'm surprised that she.
And the sad thing about it, her mama played at Troy, Mike, and that's what bothers me a little bit. She would have seemed like she would have wanted to help the Troy program. There's a Wiley Sanders truck sitting out in front of us this morning.
I mean, Troy now has 4 players that have signed Division I scholarships. Of course, we had the Davenport girl signed with Rutgers, and the other, I think, Siler girl signed with Air Force.
That's right.
And now you got Moore committing to Troy, and then Jones committing to Belmont. So, let's face it, Charles Henderson is a women's basketball school or ladies basketball school.
It really is.
That's kind of what they're known for now.
How is Davenport doing at Rutgers this year? Have you checked any of her stats?
I hadn't checked. I read an article where Coach Jones saw her play down in against South Alabama.
Yeah, in fact, they took a fan bus down. They had a whole bus load of folks went down there to watch her play, and she.
Belmont is getting a great player. I wish Jones would have stayed and played at Troy as well.
What she does so
You think she was offered a scholarship at Troy?
Oh, I'm sure.
Let me tell you what she does so well is shoot free throws. She's an excellent free throw shooter. In fact, I've said a few times last year that she was the best free throw shooter in town, and that includes everybody out at Troy.
Might be.
The men and women's team. I think she was shooting about 80-something%. From the free throw line.
Well, that makes a huge difference in close games.
And especially when you can control the ball and handle the ball, and of course you get fouled and you go to the line and put a lot of pressure on.
You know how Auburn could have won a national championship? They allegedly foul a guy, which you can debate whether it was a foul or not, and then the guy with no time left with the game on the line goes to the free throw line and sinks all 3 free throws.
Now, when was that?
That was in the Final Four last year in basketball.
Against Virginia.
That just shows you that.
You mean Auburn didn't play Virginia, did he?
Yeah, Auburn had the game won, and they fouled.
You mean Auburn went to the Final Four last year? I
Oh
promise you, I don't even remember it.
Yeah.
I really don't. I apologize, but
Auburn should have gone to the championship game last year.
Yeah, that's
Didn't
right.
Virginia go ahead and win it?
Yeah.
I watched Auburn and Troy play an exhibition game 2 weeks ago here in Troy, and nobody knew about it except for the Troy people and the Auburn people, and I was able to watch it. It was very good. Troy played well.
Auburn's actually undefeated in basketball right now. I think they're number 18 in the country.
Mike, last week you were excellent, and so was Jim Jackson. But guess who was even more excellent? How about Bill Rice Jr.? Bill Rice Jr. went 25-4. You went 25-4, and Bill Jackson, Jim Jackson went 25-4.
What was the tiebreaker?
The tiebreaker was Auburn and Georgia, and y'all.
We all picked Auburn. So.
Y'all picked Auburn, except for Rice. Except for Rice on football. Rice picked Georgia.
Rice hates Auburn with passion, so you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, well, I picked, I bet on Auburn all the time. I just had a feeling that with Jake Fromm as quarterback, that Georgia would pull it out.
But
I thought it would be a close game.
Rice was 25-4. Yours truly out there was 23-6.
So if everybody's 25-4, what tiebreaker won it in the Alabama game?
Well, no, the tiebreaker was Rice picked Auburn.
Yeah, but we all have the same record. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does too. When it comes to a tiebreaker, you got to at least have the winner first before you win the tiebreaker.
If we're all 25-4, that game doesn't matter. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care about the week.
The tiebreaker would have to be what we picked for the Alabama score.
No.
I just care about the season, and I'm chasing Jim, and you're right in there too, Michael.
We're all 25-4.
No, I know it though, Michael. But the tiebreaker was Georgia and Auburn, and
That's the tiebreaker.
well, he had.
Picking games.
Boy, I tell you what, you're gonna have to calm down a little bit this morning.
No, I mean, you don't understand that we all picked the same amount of winners and losers.
Well, you still well, because you were 25-4, and the tiebreaker would break the tie. That's right. I'm right. And there, he had as the tiebreaker. Rice on football had 35-24. He was way off, but he's the only one that would have a legitimate score in the tiebreaker. And that 35-24 was a legitimate score. Yours was not legitimate.
It doesn't matter if we all won. And
No, because the tiebreaker was how you break the tie.
Okay.
And,
I figured we would go to another game. We had Alabama.
No, we didn't. We just had, and I should have had more than one. We'll do that this week. But it was a great day for.
I don't think we've had a week where everybody only lost 4 games, so it must have been easy games last week.
It was, and of course, those were all good scores: 25-4, 25-4, 25-4, and 23-6, and that's how we ended up. And we got a lot of good games this week. When I first looked at it, I didn't think we would have a lot of good games, but we do, and it's going to be a lot of fun this week.
You need to text Jim and see if he's coming in.
Well, yeah, you can. He might be out of town. I'm not sure.
Well, he can do the picks later after the show.
Yeah, he can do that. I'll get it to him. And we're going to get started in a moment. Of course, I want to mention our good friends at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines right here in Troy. And with all the amenities, a great opportunity for a great future driving trucks for Wiley Sanders of Troy, Alabama, one of the largest trucking companies in the world, right here in Troy, Alabama.
How many trucks do they have?
Over 1,000. To my knowledge, over 1,000.
And it all started with one.
And that's right. And that young man.
You know that story.
Well, let me tell you the story that I know about it. And of course, knew Wiley Sanders when I was growing up. We played football two houses down from him, and I used to see Wiley, and I knew Becky and Virginia, his sisters, precious, beautiful girls, and knew his mama, a sweet lady, school teacher, and his daddy was a great man, great support, loved baseball. And you know what they did first? They were in the pecan business. They sold pecans.
Okay.
And they had a pecan business, he and his dad, and he sort of got started that way.
This
then
is right when he was out of high school. He was in the pecan
and
business.
then he started buying and selling car batteries. This is my version of how he got started. And he was selling car batteries, and the more the demand was, the more effort he had to put into it. He had a pecan business and was selling car batteries, and it led to something that they needed more and more lead. So eventually they went into the lead processing business, smeltering lead for
which grew out of the battery business.
And it got big. It grew out of the battery business. Well, no, they were still in the battery business because that's how they got the lead in most cases. All over the country, they would buy car batteries for lead, and of course it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and he became one of the largest lead smelterers in the world, right here in Troy, Alabama. And then
he began to recycle the plastic casings.
And this is sort of the way it happened. It might not be exactly, but from what I've seen, what happened was you get the lead out of the batteries, and then what would you do with the plastic casing? Well, they didn't have where to put it. They stacked it up, piled it up, and before long, it got so much that, the environmental people started saying, hey, what are you going to do with these plastics? And they thought about it. And some little old guy in the back said, why don't we recycle them?
What?
And now they are the largest recycler of plastics in the world, right here in Troy, Alabama. And they have a huge plastics plant, and K&W Plastics, and Sanders Lead Company, Sanders Trucking Company.
Pecans, batteries, lead, plastic recycling, and they're still doing it. Now they're into paint canisters.
Well, that's exactly right. Now, that's another one. They also have a patent. They came over a patent on a paint can. That's another story.
Paint buckets.
And they bought the patent. You know, you can do that. They bought the patent, and now they're one of the largest paint bucket distributors in the country.
Yeah, you used to just buy them in the.
And it all comes.
Ford at Rutgers. It's hard. I'll forget sometimes Rutgers is in the Big Ten. She's playing 14 minutes a game. And
That's pretty good.
Averaging 4.8 points a game and 3 rebounds a game.
Yeah, so she's coming in wash-up duties or what? Are they undefeated?
Yeah, they're Ford.
So they're bringing her along slowly.
And she is a fine young lady too, and she was the winner of the Johnny Teal Award. And
I feel bad for her family though. How much does her family get to see her?
I know it. That bothered me too. That
I forgot. I wondered why she went to Rutgers in New Jersey, but then I forgot that Rutgers is in the Big Ten. So playing in the Big Ten is a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, the famous coach Vivian Stringer has won over 1,000 games.
Let me clean up something before we go to the picking teams and so forth. That was just my opinion.
So you're saying you might be a little off on
that was my opinion of how it worked, but I knew that they were in the pecan business and they sold.
Oh, we forgot the trucking business.
That's exactly right. And then what I'm saying, they started having to truck.
They needed these batteries.
These batteries and so forth. So the trucking company got bigger and bigger, and now at one time it had over 1,000 trucks.
So they would do the truck.
Or trailers.
Take some customer's stuff somewhere, and then they say, we got an empty truck. What are we going to do with it while it's empty? And they say, let's pick up some batteries and bring them back.
That's right. Pick up batteries and buying batteries and selling batteries, and then started, I'm sure they sold some freight, and I'm sure they sold, then they got big into the trucking business, and talking about it today.
I read that story in the Messenger about the new smokestacks they put in for environmental regulations, I'm sure. But Kenny Campbell said that they have invested more than, or approximately $100 million in this technology to, handle all the waste from the lead processing. So you think about that.
We're not going to, I'm not going to get into that topic, but
anybody
that talk sports this morning, but that could be for another day. But they definitely spend a lot of money on the total process of that.
$100 million. Golly.
Yeah, and that's of course we are so proud of what they have done for our community, and so many jobs and livelihoods depend on these outstanding companies at what we call the Sanders companies, and of course the plastics is big.
And it started from the two Mr. Sanders.
Sure did. And of course
on Orange Street.
And he was such a nice guy, his dad, and Wiley was a great guy, just a great guy, and loved his community, no question about it. We're waiting on Bill. Bill evidently is not going to be with us this morning. Jim, excuse me, we'll give him a chance to, I was thinking about not Bill Rice, but Bill Jackson.
His daddy, yeah.
His dad. But we'll get going in just a few moments. A few other things going on. This weekend there will be Christmas downtown, so a lot of folks going to be shopping downtown. A lot of great sales going on. That will be going on downtown Troy this weekend. Also, we've got coming up. We've got at the We Pill Around Theater. Their second session of the fall with Come Home It's Supper Time.
I think that's over.
They had
an extra performance.
I was thinking they had 4 performances, but I could be wrong. we need to check on that.
Charles Henderson basketball news, if you'd like it.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Former Charles Henderson player Josh Roberts, who plays for the St. John's Redmond up in New York City. He's 6'9", 210 pounds, plays 28 minutes a game now as a sophomore.
Boy.
He's averaging 7.4 a game and averaging 9 rebounds a game.
Well, let me tell you this. I saw him play, and I was sitting very close to the one of the assistant basketball coaches at Charles Henderson. One of the Troy University coaches. And they didn't, I don't know if they offered him or not, but he was also an outstanding football player. He was a great wide receiver. But what he did so well that I noticed, and everybody noticed, Mike, he could block shots. He was, had that great timing and could jump. And he's an excellent shot blocker. So he does more than just score. He rebounds and blocks shots.
He's a perfect fit for the new coach there, the great Mike Anderson of Birmingham, Alabama, that was the head coach at UAB, Missouri, and Arkansas.
Well, if he played for Mike Anderson, he better be willing to run, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he's playing for Mike Anderson. He's the head coach of St. John's.
Yeah. Well, if he's getting 9 rebounds a game as a sophomore, man, he's going to be something as a senior. Yeah. He might have a chance to play in the pros.
I want to mention also back to the Sanders companies, they're going to give away a bunch of turkeys, over 500 turkeys. They're going to, and that's going to be going on the next week, and a lot of people are volunteering to help. And Ms. Sanders, we appreciate so much what you've done for this program and to provide a meal for so many people that normally would not have a meal unless people like you have a program which is just outstanding to
well, we're blessed. I mean, it's a homegrown business too. It's not one of these businesses that came from off. I mean, it started here and grew here, and heck, who knows what they'll come up with next? I mean,
we're talking about turkeys. We're start giving away turkeys. I think they started doing it on Wednesday. I need to find out more information, but it's a wonderful program that it's been going on 5 years. And
her last name is
Sanders. She's married to one of the Sanders boys, and he's a great guy, and Stephen Sanders, and they've been doing this, and it's just a wonderful community organized event, where you can go and help out. You start processing 500 turkeys. That's a lot. And all the guys that do the cooking. I know Jimmy Barron's been involved in it a long time, and several of our local guys have pitched in to
Who cooks the turkeys at y'all's house?
Well, most of the time.
I've never cooked a turkey in my life. I wouldn't even know how to begin.
Mom smokes the turkey usually.
Yeah, cooks it in an oven. There's a lot of different ways to cook a turkey.
Steve Camp used to fry turkeys. He used to get some of those.
Oh, yeah, he's one of the best at frying turkeys around. And, of course, you can, there's several people that you can buy the whole meal, Yanni down at Piggly Wiggly, they furnish, I don't know if his times is up on that, but you call in and you order turkeys. I think a whole meal was $49, and that included, dessert and everything, But I'm afraid they might have already
taking all their orders.
Yeah, taking all their orders. So but it would be worth calling and asking about it. And
we get our dressing from Sisters, the best dressing ever.
Yeah, Sisters dressing, man.
I did that this year.
You did it, didn't you? I think Monday is when you pick up for that, or at least.
It said all the way through Wednesday. I'm getting mine on Wednesday.
All right. Well, my wife, I think, might have told them Monday, so I don't know.
Well, you can pick it up on Monday.
There's so many things going on in our community, and of course.
Real warm up down here at the beach next week. Highs are going to be in the 70s, lows just in the low 60s.
Well, gosh, now see, I don't like that. I like for it to be cool on Thanksgiving. I like to go out and kick.
With the girls paddles and probably go swimming, and then we'll probably be able to go crapping, and I'll probably catch some fish. And
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, let me just say this: I like to kick leaves this time of year, and put up white lights this time of year. You know
Didn't you
what I
say
mean?
that people used to burn their leaves, and you would walk home and smell that smell?
Oh yeah, it was wonderful back in the old days to smell leaves burning, and I know a lot of people can vouch for that. That walking home and people would rake their front yards, and then after they raked the front yards, they would burn the leaves, and it was a great smell in the air, and then you could see smoke over the area, you know.
I did my share of raking. You don't hardly see many people raking anymore, do you?
That's right. I rake pine straw in my yard sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started, Mike. Let's get started.
Brian Denny Stadium will start their renovations Monday after the Western Carolina game Saturday. So Brian Denny will look different again.
What are they going to do, Mike?
In the inside stuff, though, you won't see it from the outside, will you?
Yeah, it's, the end zones are making more fan-friendly, student-friendly access. They're changing all the scoreboards. They have the 4 small ones in all the corners, and going to have 2 giant scoreboards. It's just going to change up the, kind of give it a facelift, I guess, which it doesn't really need, but they're doing it anyway.
Mike, I went to an Auburn game this year. They have a giant scoreboard, but they only have one. Auburn has only one scoreboard, and it makes a difference, especially if you're sitting with your back to the scoreboard, where you have to turn completely around to look at it.
They don't have any other score.
No, but they have a giant scoreboard.
The biggest in America.
That's right, but I don't think they have but one. At least I can't remember seeing. That was early in the season against Tulane, but.
This is going to factor in a lot of people's seating. So,
well, I will tell you this right now.
It's going to change Brian Denny's capacity from almost 102,000 to right at 100,000.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you also, this will be a great opportunity to see Alabama or Auburn. There'll be tickets running around. You might even get free tickets if you go up there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good chance you could actually trip over a ticket walking into the stadium.
I mean, there'll be all kinds of, Alabama plays Western Carolina, and Troy beat them 6 touchdowns probably, or maybe more.
Sanford just beat them 31-13. So
yeah, all right. And Auburn's got
Alabama's cupcake is easier than Auburn's cupcake.
And Auburn's got Sanford Bulldogs coming to town out of Birmingham.
I tell you what, they've given a lot of money back to Sanford and Pat Sullivan since. They've played Sanford now. I'd say at least 6-7 times.
Yeah. Pat Sullivan's not involved with Sanford, is he?
No, but Pat Sullivan was.
Oh yeah. When he played there, or coached there, you're right. He sure did. And let me tell you this:
Pat Sullivan's a class.
Pat Sullivan is one of the classiest, nicest people you'll ever meet. Bud Casey, of course, my partner on here for years and good friend, and of course no longer with us. Always told me one of the finest men walking the streets today is Pat Sullivan, and I've heard it so many times. And of course, he is fighting and battling cancer, and hopefully, he's really hung in there well. And of course, everybody's been praying for him for a long time. Okay, let's get started. We've got, but before we get started, let's go to a commercial. We'll be right back.
Ford Truck Month is going on now at Bill Jackson Ford, and folks, we have the deal for you. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP and get 0% APR for 72 months for huge savings on a new 2019 Ford F-150. Select new 2019 Ford Mustang starting at an incredibly low $23,900, or drive home a select new 2019 Ford Escape starting at just $18,900. Bill Jackson is the name you've trusted for over 30 years. Check us out on Highway 231 in Troy or online at BillJacksonFord.com.
I've been working for this my whole life. The chance to relax on the open water. With my financial institution, Max, my Achieve checking account earns dividends. So I'm free to do what I love.
local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA Choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
And when are you doing it that you know of? When?
22nd, December 22nd.
Second. And they need volunteers?
Yep, if anybody wants to volunteer to cook or deliver.
I wonder what kind of crowd Troy's going to have for that absence.
All right, here we are. We're back on.
I know it. Back to our show. Bill Rice Jr. Is with us. Mike Amos on the phone. Rice, he's huge. He's really that big. He's 6'8.5", 319 pounds. I'm a cool 5'11", used to be 6 feet, and weigh a cool 232.
Why do people shrink over time? Everybody does.
And at tight end, Big Bill Rice, your daddy,
That's
6'5.5".
what I would be a tight end nowadays. But when I was in high school, the most I peaked out at was 170 pounds.
Miss Kelly Sanders, if you hear us this morning, thanks again for your efforts, and it's called Turkeys from Heaven, and she started this program, gosh, maybe as much as 10 years ago.
Are you surprised to hear that our own Steve Camp is helping out?
Oh, it doesn't surprise me at all. He's probably the best cook in the country and has the equipment to cook a bunch of turkeys, and he's going to be involved. That all starts the 22nd. The 22nd is on a, Tuesday, Mike, or Wednesday?
I'd have to look and see.
We need the calendar, I reckon, sitting in here.
That's not right, because it's 22nd tomorrow.
22nd tomorrow. That's my brother Rush's birthday.
I reckon that's when they do it tomorrow then. What?
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday?
December 22nd.
December the 22nd. Okay.
So they do this for Christmas.
Christmas.
For Christmas.
All right, now we got the rest of the stuff.
All right. Well, see, I'm all turned around. But of course, on December the 22nd, they'll be cooking. And they need people to volunteer to either cook or deliver these turkeys out to or at least 500. A lot of times it's way more than 500. But Miss Kelly Sanders, it would tickle me if you would come on this show and talk about this great program that you started. And it's so involved and so many people involved. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing going on. Now, Cornelius Griffin also provides turkeys. I think he is for Thanksgiving, but it's another program very similar to what's going on with Turkeys from Heaven.
Mike Amos used to provide turkey. You used to do your little turkey call.
You know what? You're exactly right. And we'll give away some turkeys at least for Christmas. And
your call did not go through. Will you please try your call again?
What happened there?
I'm sorry. Your call did not go through.
What's going on here?
I don't know.
Some gremlins have got the phone.
Somebody got the phone and trying to get in on there, and we'll be glad to bring them in to our show. All right, here we go. You got this right here.
Da-da-da.
Mike Amos is Rice is the defending champion.
Pen?
Yes, I've got an extra pen. I thought about you that you would need your pen, and
All these high school games. Y'all are the
Rice,
experts on that.
you've got a
Thank you, sir.
a big golf match today. Tell us
Yeah.
about it.
Well, I'm gonna do a story on Griff McCrary. I'm working on it. You know, who's a fantastic high school golfer, and I'm gonna go play with him, see what kind of game he has, see if he can take me on,
and see if he can play like his daddy. You know, his daddy was a two-time All-American at Troy, and of course Griff, fine young man.
His daddy played with some great golfers.
Oh yeah.
Ben Bates was on the PGA Tour for a long time. He played with David Hancock, who was a pro, but the better known pro in that family was his brother Philip Hancock, who was a long-time PGA pro.
I didn't know you knew all of that.
And Colin was an All-American himself.
Yeah, out of Americus, Georgia.
And they all played for Mike Griffin
That's right. No
We
question.
were talking about class people. He was a class, still is a class fellow.
No question about it. All right, we've got one thing too, and we want to congratulate the teams that are in the Alabama Independent School Championships starting tomorrow, right here in Troy, from the Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we're going to be picking those games today too. And I know you can't see them very well, but
Okay, good, cool.
But it's going to be the first
We
game.
need to talk more about that. Thank you.
Yeah, the.
Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow. I think I made that sort of clear. Tomorrow, right here, starting at noon, with Southern Academy going up against Chambers Academy. And
yeah, I mean, they upset Glenwood, and we're shocked by that. So, not Glenwood, but Crenshaw Christian.
Yeah, they upset Crenshaw Christian. And, of course, Southern is located in Greensboro, Alabama, so the town of Greensboro will be here. Chambers Academy of Lafayette is coached. Their offensive coordinator is Tommy Garrett, a guy that I grew up with right here in Troy, and excellent coach. They're the defending state champion, Chambers, going up against Southern. That's at noon
That's
tomorrow.
on the call then.
That's at noon. And then at 3:30, this is one that I know a lot of folks would want to see, is a Tauga Academy, 8-2, going up against a Scambia Academy, 9-3. And, of course, Mike, a good friend of ours, is the head coach at the Scambia Academy.
Yeah, longtime Charles Henderson coach Hugh Felton, who was at Charles Henderson for 16 years, has won, I think, 3 state championships at the Scambia Academy, so he's had a great success there.
No question. In fact, Tauga is coached by the guy, Mike, that coached Edgewood, Bobby Carr. And Bobby Carr had been at Tauga now, I think, around 4 or 5 years. He left Edgewood, where he had won over 80 straight games. And he's the coach, and these two teams have battled for the championship almost every year, and it'll be a great game between a Tauga Academy of Prattville and a Scambia Academy of Atmore.
A great game, yeah.
And the school is actually located in Canoe, Alabama. Mike, if you know where that is.
Like the boat, a canoe?
And one of their big supporters is the Indian. Forge Creek Indians.
That's a good supporter to have.
No question about it. And then at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, and these all start in Troy at noon, 3:30, and at 7 o'clock, the finale, the big schools, the 3A schools, featuring Bessemer Academy of Birmingham and Glenwood Academy of Phoenix City. So you've got Bessemer, Alabama, and all kinds of parts of Birmingham. And you've got Glenwood Academy out of Phoenix City, a big school in Phoenix City. So those two towns will be here to support their team at 7 o'clock. Then a Tauga Academy of Prattville and a Scambia Academy of Atmore. Those two towns will be supporting their team at 3:30. And then Southern Academy, as we mentioned, from Greensboro, going up against Chambers Academy of Lafayette for the championship in 1A. So this is a wonderful program that was started by John Fairclough.
I had some involvement in it because I did the commemorative program for the first 4 or 5 years with the Troy Citizen.
That's right.
So I would interview people in these towns and do stories about their teams and sell ads for the businesses in their teams, and it was first-class event, still is.
In fact, if you're listening this morning from one of these schools, a lot of them are already here. A lot of them have already come in here and practiced and are getting ready, and they'll be practicing all day today. The different teams will be coming in today, and
they got to acclimate themselves to the turf.
That's right.
They're not used to that.
That's right. Well, let me tell you, it's not like it used to be. You remember the old foam turf. You felt funny running up down there. But the turf they run on now is very simple and very easy.
They can wear those same shoes, right?
Yeah, it's as much like grass as you can get. No question about it.
I'm looking at these records you put on here, Mike, and look, the teams are the 3A game 10-3 and 9-3.
Yeah.
The 2A game 8-2 and 9-3. You didn't put the records of the 1A. But look, there's a lot of parity in AISA. I mean, no team ran the table and has an undefeated record.
That's right. In fact, I've got it right over here. I don't know why I didn't put that down, but I'll.
Southern Academy's 9-1. Chambers is 11-1.
Okay,
so
good.
They're the best.
Give me Chambers. Give me all the experience of being, state champs last year. I think they'll beat Southern Academy.
Yeah.
But Southern beat Crenshaw.
You're going to take Southern, but I'm going to take Chambers, too, because they're good.
I took Chambers.
All right, me too.
I am too.
Me and you, Mike. Me and you.
A lot of these schools have lost games because they play other private schools in Mississippi and Georgia as well. That's why you see some losses here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that program has been here for a while now, no question about it. Back all the way to the 70s, they started the Alabama Independent School leagues. All right, who did you like here, Rice?
Check Chambers.
All right, Catawba Academy versus Escambia Academy. This is going to be a great game here. Catawba's 8-2, Escambia's 9-3. This is a 2A match at 3 o'clock from Veterans Stadium.
3:30.
3:30. All right. Well, excuse me. 3:30. Go ahead and tell me who you like, Rice.
Boy, Coach Fountain is one of my favorite people of all time. You talk about class people. There's nobody finer than him. But Autauga might have too much for Coach Fountain. I see their record's a little better, so I'll take Autauga.
Well, and of course, that is a good one. I've seen Autauga and I've seen Escambia over the years. Both of them are very good. I'm going to take Escambia because I know who their football coach is, and I know what a great job he does. And, of course, an outstanding coach at Autauga. I saw them 2 years ago upset Autauga for the championship, and I'm going to just go out on a limb here. Who do you like, Mike?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Coach Fountain as well. He's a guy that you just want to pull for, so I'm going to pull for him regardless if I think he can beat Autauga Academy or not.
Yeah.
I will take a Bessemer Academy to beat Glenwood, though.
Yeah. Okay, so Bessemer Academy out of Birmingham, and now they recruit quite a bit in the Birmingham area, don't they?
Yeah, they'll go into Mountain Brook and Hewitt-Trustful and, Homewood and Thompson, Alabaster. They'll go into different schools and bring in guys to play, guys that, lose starting spots at other schools usually go play there, and they usually have a lot of talent.
Now, we're not going to use this as a regular game. I'm going to take, let me finish up with this. I'm going to take Bessemer. I think Bessemer is the top program in that league. Who do you like?
Well, Michael sounds so authoritative. I'm going to yield to him and go with Bessemer. Glenwood, I would pick Glenwood.
They're playing baseball.
I'd pick Glenwood in baseball, right.
Yeah, but I'd take Pike over them.
Now I'll take Pike.
Yeah, exactly right.
Glenwood recruits, too. They get kids
out
of Columbus, Georgia. Kids out of Phoenix City. They recruit just like Bessemer Academy.
Yeah, they do.
The best team in the state is Phoenix City, so they got athletes there.
There's a game going on also, Mike, this week. Andalusia is playing American Christian. Tell us a little bit about American Christian. This is in 4A.
Tuscaloosa, coached by Brad Smelly, that plays South Carolina.
He's the head coach already?
He's been the head coach for about 5 years.
Now, this is not his brother that played at Alabama. His brother.
Not the tight end H-bag. This is the kid that played for Spurrier.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Didn't he transfer and play his last year at Alabama, or he was going to? Or no, he played baseball.
He transfer and played baseball at Alabama.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I just wanted to check on that. That's going.
Brett and Brad Smelly were the Smelly brothers. I don't know if both of them got together or not, but American Christian's 11-1 at Andalusia. I'll take Andalusia at home.
You know what? That'd be a great time to go to Andalusia and see their Christmas decorations, which is fabulous. Now, I'm telling you, but let me compliment somebody while we're talking about that. What a beautiful tree downtown Troy. Have you seen it?
Yeah, well, I went to breakfast
at Birds
yesterday, and
they
were putting up the tree, and it is beautiful.
It's so well decorated, and it is a beautiful tree, and downtown Troy looks great. but Andalusia's got one twice that size, maybe 3 times that size. And if you're not doing anything, Andalusia would be a good place to go to watch a ball game. But we've got a few more.
Now, this isn't on our picks. Should we add it?
No, I was just talking about it.
Aren't you going to go see, well, I guess you can't go see Arrington. You got to go all the way down to Leroy's.
I know it. I can't see Arrington. Arrington, of course, at Leroy, and Arrington under Coach Kilcrease has just been outstanding. After losing their first 2 games, it just goes to show you the season's not over, Mike. And they have won 10 straight at Arrington. And who do you like here?
Yeah, I mean they won 10 straight. I mean I think they're the hottest team out there. I'm gonna get on the Arrington bandwagon. Of course, I'm friends with Chuck Dunn and there's Steven as well.
And Goshen played them. I want to say 35-27, something like that. Played them a close game last week. They've got a running back who's been a star since he's been in the 9th grade. I watched him play in the playoffs against Goshen 2 or 3 years ago. He's a great player. But, you know, Arrington, to me, they play so much together and play so hard. I'm going to take Arrington. Who do you like, Bill Rice?
I got to go with the local coaches that are such good people. So Arrington, too. Go Purple Cats.
Okay, Mike, and who did you take?
I think Arrington. I mean, shoot, they won 10 in a row. I don't know what happened the first 2 games. I don't know if their quarterback didn't play or what happened, but they've been lights out ever since.
Of course, Leroy is a very good team. They're also 10-2 going into tonight or tomorrow night's tomorrow night's games. G.W. Long at Reeltown, and buddy, this is another great team. And G.W. Long's football program, Mike, had been down for 4 or 5 years. You know, the baseball program's the best in Alabama, in the whole state. But football been down, but something has got them back up, and they're playing very, very well.
They've been blowing out everybody. I don't know much about Reeltown. I know they're 11-1, but I'm gonna go with G.W. Long. They're hot.
Boy, this is gonna be a tough one in Reeltown. Give me the Reeltown Rebels. I hate to do this, but I'm going Reeltown.
Okay, I'm going to go with G.W. Long.
G.W. Long. All right, and I took Barrington.
Brantley traveling to your favorite place, Sweetwater, 11-1 against 10-1.
Yeah, Sweetwater. And the new baseball coach at Charles Henderson, Mike, coached at Sweetwater. Did you know that?
Yeah, he coached there at Lyons Academy, and then just left Brookwood.
Yeah. So, do we get a good one from your knowledge?
I don't know. I'm talking to sources up there, and I got a lot of friends in that Tuscaloosa area. I'll find out some details, and we'll find out what kind of guy he is.
Well, I'm sure he's got to be a good coach, or they wouldn't have hired him. So we look forward to seeing him and meeting him. Brantley at Sweetwater. Sweetwater's only loss came to Pike County. Pike County beat them bad, too.
Well, that's a 1A versus a 3A school, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Brantley's real red hot, too, with his quarterback. I'm going to have to take Brantley.
I'm taking Brent. Well, they got to go to Sweetwater, and Sweetwater looks like Michigan.
It does?
Yeah, they wear the same helmets Michigan wears. Okay, who do you like, Rice?
I like Titletown. I mean, if they're going to win another title in Titletown,
well,
they got to win the quarterfinals.
I don't think helmets win football games. I like Tucker Kilcrease, the great young quarterback, against Sweetwater. Give me Brantley. Is that who you took, Mike? Brantley?
Yeah, you know, I was also going to mention, this is off the subject totally, but Troy...
We bounce around here. That's what we're known for, bouncing around.
I was reading TroyTroses.com, and they signed a kid in baseball out of Florida, Whitmere, Florida, and his last name was Hershiser.
Are you serious? He's not old enough to have a guy...
It's actually Oral Hershiser's nephew.
Oh. All right, that's great. Well, at one time, Mike, we sat in the stands right next to a guy named...
Necro.
Right next to Necro. And
Necro.
Used to go to games, too.
We sat next door to Phil Necro several times when his son was playing for Troy.
I was at the front porch one time.
You remember that?
I looked over, and there's Phil Necro drinking a beer next to me.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He always had a few stories to tell, and I asked him. I asked him. I said, Phil, you could have sent your kid, or he could have gone anywhere. You could send him anywhere. He said, hey, he's in the best place he could possibly be, and that playing for Chase Riddle.
Did he get to play much? Any?
Well, yeah, he was pretty good.
He's a good pitcher. Yeah, he's tall.
He's
Big
been real,
guy.
and great kid. Oh, he was a great kid.
Did he end up getting his degree? We know.
I want to say he finished his career at Auburn Montgomery, Mike, didn't he? Or was that Sutton?
That was Don Sutton's son, Derek
Okay.
Sutton.
Oh, Derek Sutton.
He became an announcer too, like his daddy, didn't he?
Well,
He was on Braves telecast for a while.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I wonder he's not on it anymore.
I don't know who he works for now. You know, his dad still does the radio for the Braves.
Oh, all right. That's what I was
Oh,
thinking
his
about.
dad
His
does
dad.
still do the radio?
Yeah.
Yeah, Don does.
I thought he retired.
Now, Don's brother is one of Troy University's biggest supporters, and Ron Sutton, and he's at every Troy ball game, and great guy, and plays a pretty good game of golf, too.
I bet.
We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to pick college scores, and I'm going to let you know who's going to win in college this week. And ladies and gentlemen, before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, a big, big game in Auburn. It's the Auburn Tigers against the Sanford Bulldogs. Yes, Birmingham comes to Auburn, and we're going to be there. It's Auburn and Sanford. What kind of kickoff? 11 o'clock kickoff for the Auburn-Sanford game. Look out, Tigers. The Bulldogs are coming to town. Don't you miss it. And if you'd like to go to that game, just go there. They'll be giving away free tickets at the door because, and of course, Alabama plays at 11 o'clock too, Mike. They're being punished for playing Western Carolina and Sanford. They've got to get up. Those guys will have to be up at 6:30 or 7 o'clock to get ready for that game. Don't you agree?
I'm sure they want to get it over with as quick as possible.
Hey, you boys go to bed now. I know we're asking you to go to bed at 8 o'clock. Y'all go to bed so you
Mike,
be ready.
Let me ask you: does Alabama's team spend the night at the hotel you used to work at in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, they still work at. I mean, they stay at the Capstone. Yeah.
So how many rooms would they get? Just about half the hotel, or?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I managed the Bryan Conference Center, which was attached to it. So we had the team in on Friday night for meals, and then we had them in for breakfast on Saturday morning before the games. Of course, Saban wouldn't allow anybody else in the building, and he wouldn't even let my staff watch the players eat.
Oh gosh.
Playing one time that our guys were standing over, standing up and upstairs, looking down.
Oh gosh.
Pointing at players or something one time.
Oh gosh. That's
I had talk to them and tell them they couldn't do that anymore. But that's what they still say before every game.
You know how you see these players at Auburn talking to the media, and see these coaches at Auburn talking to the media. You don't see that at Alabama. The only person that talks to the media is one Nick Saban. Even the coaches. I couldn't tell you half the coaches on that staff because you never see them.
Both his coordinators talk before the season, and then he lets them talk during the bowl games.
That's it.
And that's the only time they get to talk. And there's some pretty well-known coaches, on that staff. And
Worked out fine though for him.
I'll tell you.
I mean, when Kirby Smart first got hired at Georgia, he slipped and said Alabama twice.
Did he?
In press conferences, yeah, because he probably wasn't polished.
Yeah. If they got in a fight, who'd win, Kirby or the young man over Muschamp? Who'd win that fight? You had to shoot at that and kill him, probably, wouldn't you?
Kirby was a better college player. Kirby was an All-SEC player, wasn't he?
Who's the hardest nose of those guys, Mike?
Probably Jimbo Fisher.
Jimbo Fisher wouldn't have a chance against one of those guys, Mike.
He's a good athlete.
Now, hey.
I know I'm sounding crazy, but, man, I really like A&M against Georgia this weekend. I don't think they're going to win, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
No question. They've had plenty of time to get ready.
Line is 13.
But Mike,
they played a lot of cupcakes, but they just been blowing everybody out. Yeah. I don't know if y'all realize, but A&M's playing a lot better.
Yeah, you know who could whip them all, Mike, don't you? You know who could whip them all, don't you?
Orgeron?
No, Orgeron Ogeron would be pretty tough to beat, but it'd go down between Ogeron and Chiswick. Chiswick could whip them all.
I think
Have you ever seen Chiswick?
he probably bench presses 400.
Yeah, he's a huge guy.
Oh, he's like Tarzan. I mean, Chiswick looks like Tarzan, and he's a good guy, too. He really is.
He's a big weightlifter, I think.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back.
I mean, games we got to pick. Boy,
Ford Truck Month is going on now at Bill Jackson Ford, and folks, we have the deal for you. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP and get 0% APR for 72 months for huge savings on a new 2019 Ford F-150. Select new 2019 Ford Mustang starting at an incredibly low $23,900, or drive home a select new 2019 Ford Escape starting at just $18,900. Bill Jackson is the name you've trusted for over 30 years. Check us out on Highway 231 in Troy or online at BillJacksonFord.com.
I've been working for this my whole life. The chance to relax on the open water. With my financial institution, Max, my Achieve checking account earns dividends. So I'm free to do what I love.
Piggly Wiggly's local butchers are on site at both stores and will help you select the best cuts of meat and trim them to your liking. Our USDA choice beef is the most consistently tender, juicy, and flavorful beef you can buy, all at cost plus 10%.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
When we'd want to do it.
well, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, if you could do shows Monday and Tuesday, and then you could just never leave the beach.
Yeah, okay. Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, on this laid-back
Y'all call
television
this
show of all
chit-chatting
time.
off the air.
And hey, listen, we're drinking coffee just like you are. You're eating scrambled eggs and bacon. We're not, but we're not far from it. The bird drugs. We were talking to the mayor of Scriven, Georgia. And he already has found out about birds. He said, man, I can smell that bacon a mile away in downtown Troy. And, of course, that bacon is delicious. And, Jason loves their link sausage.
That's what I get, the link sausage.
And, of course, it's delicious. And their hot grits and their scrambled eggs and their biscuits. Their biscuits are great. And their sausage and biscuits, they've come out with a real big, thick patty for your sausage biscuit, with a delicious biscuit to go with it. And, just the sausage biscuit is a meal within itself. But throw in a little grits, and, of course, hot
Some of
toast.
those ladies working up there have been there for about 30 years.
Michael's the only one that always wanted a milkshake for breakfast,
I get a side of bacon and a milkshake in the tin, where I get all the extra milkshake.
And they're great people, and of course Joe Watson, one of the greatest people of all time. I know Joe and Evelyn close to your family over the years. Great people.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic people.
Okay, let's get going.
Sam, was Sam your age?
Sam is about, I would say he's 3 or 4 years younger than me. I think it was, Sam might have been in Bobby's class, which was the class of 86. I was the class of 83. And then, little Joe is a couple years younger than him.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, let's have fun sometime. Just call in or just ask me where somebody's from, and I'll tell you where they're from. People in Troy that don't know where they're from. A lot of them have lived here all their lives, but Joe Watson is from Auburn. He was born and raised in Auburn, and he married a pharmacist's daughter named Evelyn. And so when he got married, he was in business with her daddy, Mr. Bird. And then when Mr. Bird gave it over to Joe, and it's been Joe's ever since. And there's been a Bird running that drugstore since 1940.
Yeah.
Where's the great Alabama fan Joe Falk from?
Joe Fox from Sampson, downtown Sampson, Alabama. He and his wife both.
That's right.
And Dickie Calhoun is from Montgomery.
Right, Lanier High School, and was a two-time All-State performer. Did you know that?
I didn't until you
He was an
told me.
All-State football player and track star. And of course, now he's a local attorney with Gibson. With Falk and Calhoun.
This has got to be the worst week of picking college football games.
Yeah, it's not as bad as you think, though, as we get into it.
Michael, you've said that about 4 times this year.
All right, let me just say this. West Virginia.
Yeah, the saddest thing about this is I'm going to be in downtown Biloxi Saturday, and all these horrible games are going to be on.
That's what I might want to do is ride over to Biloxi with you.
I'm going to be at the Pioneer Museum eating chili.
That's right. That's going to be fun. And remember, that is a chili cook-off starts at 11 o'clock till 2 as far as the eating part of it. That's a beautiful place, and I promise you, you take your kids out there, and then their Christmas program coming up, It's going to be wonderful. Of course, we want to mention Goshen's Parade is going to be on December the 6th. The Troy Parade is always the first Monday in December, and then we'll be doing that live, and looking forward to it.
All right, let's go.
Oklahoma State at West Virginia. What is the coach for Oklahoma State famous for, Mike?
His mullet.
No, what?
Well, he's famous for his mullet and saying,
I'm a man. He said that after the Troy game.
You know, that saying is, that tirade is about as famous as Allen Iverson's practice. Practice? You talking about practice?
Yeah, I know.
You remember that one?
No. He said bowls? You're talking about a bowl game? That's what he said.
No, Iverson said practice.
No, he said we play to win the game. His Herm Edwards is a huge foot, too.
I know it, but the other one...
The basketball player, somebody said something about him not practicing hard, and he went on for 5 minutes talking about practice.
Yeah. No.
His point was, I play in the games. I don't know.
I know it, but what he said that brought my attention was, a bowl game? You mean you're talking about a bowl game?
No, playoffs. You're thinking about the guy that said playoffs.
Yeah,
that was the coach that used to.
That's Jim Moore.
Yeah, Jim Moore. That's right.
He did say playoffs.
All right, Oklahoma State and West Virginia, and of course the former head football coach at Troy is at West Virginia now, and he won.
Maybe we get Coach Brown on after the season and talk to him. I hate to go against Neil, and he had a huge win at Kansas State, but Oklahoma State's 7-3. I'm going to take Oklahoma State. I'm going to take
Oklahoma State. This is going to be a good ball game.
But West Virginia's getting better. I'm joining Oklahoma State too.
And that was, believe it or not, the win over Kansas State was a signature win, wasn't it, Mike?
Well, I mean, it's a huge win because basically him and Kleiman came down for the Kansas State job, the North Dakota.
Yeah, they really. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they hired him, but it all came down to the athletic director had been at North Dakota State.
He kind of helped Alabama because one of the teams Alabama could be competing with for that final playoff spot would be Oklahoma, and Oklahoma lost to Kansas State, and that loss to Kansas State looks worse and worse the more games that Kansas State loses, and I think that was their 4th loss.
Yeah. Mike, before we get started, there's something that just crossed my mind. Is Tennessee playing this week?
Yeah, we're going to pick them on.
Who are they playing? Who are they playing, Mike?
They're playing at Missouri.
All right, down in the bottom left-hand corner, Tennessee
at Missouri.
This is going to be a good one, too.
Yeah, that's one of the most... the line started at 6 and it's already moved to 4.
But you know what, Mike? The big difference here is who's going to play quarterback for Missouri.
Yep.
Well, no, Bryant's back.
Well,
Brian, they got destroyed last week with Brian at quarterback.
Let's go ahead and pick that game.
Okay.
I tell you, Tennessee is hard-nosed. This is going to be a good football game. Missouri hadn't been the same since that linebacker got hurt against Troy. I'm going to take Tennessee.
I thought you were. I think I might go with you.
Mike, who do you like?
Yeah, Tennessee's been a Vegas darling, too. They've covered a lot lately as well. Missouri is a 4-point favorite. I'll take Tennessee to beat Missouri. This game will be at 6:30 on Saturday night.
All right.
Well, you know what? Since y'all were going with I got to pick up some games on y'all, so I better go on the home team, Missouri.
All right, you're going to take Missouri.
But I would not be surprised if y'all are right.
When Missouri played Troy, when they played Troy, they were good, but they have really fallen off.
They have.
Tennessee is coming off an off week to get ready as well, so they've had 2 weeks to get ready for this game.
Michael, don't you think it'll help Alabama if
Rocky Top,
Tennessee wins out?
Home sweet
I think
home
Tennessee could win 6 of their last 7 games.
Oh, Rocky Top of Tennessee, Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Tennessee could end up 7-5, winning 6 of their last 7, and suddenly that Alabama 21-point win over Tennessee doesn't look so
That's
bad.
right. That's right. No question about it. Okay, everybody took Tennessee, but you, Rice. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Your daddy would have not appreciated that, Rice.
No, he would appreciate me going against Tennessee because he couldn't stand me.
Yeah, he sure would have, wouldn't
He said he almost died on the playing field at Neyland Stadium one time. He was on the field losing, hot as could be, and he said he looked out over and saw the foothills of the Smoky Mountains, and he saw the Tennessee River, and he said, oh, gosh, I wish I could be under a shade tree by that river right now. And he got 3 15-yard penalties in one game.
He did?
His sophomore year, and they lost. And, boy, you don't think Coach Bryant didn't give him a gut check that next week in practice. So the dad has good reasons for hating Tennessee.
Illinois at Iowa. Now, this Illinois team is pretty good. I'm telling you, I don't know if they can beat Iowa at Iowa, though. Who do you like, Mike?
Say Iowa at home.
All right, Bill Rice, who do you like?
Iowa.
I want to pick an upset here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Illinois to win the game.
Did you know that the Midwest farmers' daughters all go to Iowa?
I got to get this straight here. Okay.
That's not that bad. Illinois is 6-4, so they're already bowl eligible. Iowa's 7-3.
Okay.
Line too. Iowa's a 15.5-point favorite.
Woo, boy. Man, what did I do? Okay, go ahead. You took Iowa, and I took Illinois, and Rice took
I took the Midwest farmers' daughters in Iowa.
All right, here we go. South Alabama at Georgia State. Georgia State Mike has busted my bubble.
You know what happened? I found out Georgia State lost their quarterback. He got injured.
All right, there goes the rest of the story because he was a good quarterback too. When did he go out against Troy or when?
Well, no, he went out against Appalachian State in that game.
Well, I tell you what, he was a good one, and they were.
He was playing when they got up 24-7, but apparently he had an ankle injury and he ended up getting knocked out.
That's right.
He needs the tightrope surgery.
Mike Will has called in his bets and are against the line, and I don't know if I have it right off the bat, but I wanted to try to pick that up for him today. I know this. We'll come over some of it in just a few moments. Everybody like Georgia State, or do you like South Alabama here, Mike?
You gotta like Georgia State. South Alabama's won one game.
Well, I'm afraid those guys are going to lose their job, and I hate it.
Well, they're going to finish the season 1-11 or.
I hope they'll give them a chance to.
How do you give another coach? They go 3-9 and then they go 1-11. I think with a new stadium being built on campus in South Alabama, I think you got to get a new coach.
Georgia State just got better players than South Alabama. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, I'll take Georgia State.
Okay, Georgia State. All right, right.
Akron almost beat Miami, Ohio last night. They hadn't won a game all season, so you never know.
Yeah, that's right.
They were 30-point underdogs and only got beat 20-17.
Well, Akron played them that tough.
Yep.
Who they play that tough? Who was it?
Miami, Ohio.
Okay. Who won the other game? There was another game last night, wasn't it?
I don't know. Buffalo was winning when I went to bed.
Now we got a pro game tonight. Who's playing in that?
I'll have to look and see.
Okay. UCLA at Southern Cal, and UCLA really messed me up last week. They got stomped, Mike. What happened?
Well, they played Utah. Still think Utah.
Utah was pretty good then, aren't they?
They're tough. They're tough on defense, especially.
Who do you like here? Southern Cal, he could win.
Southern Cal 7-4. This is their last game of the season. He'll finish 8-4. I'll take Southern Cal.
I'm gonna take Southern Cal too. Who do you like?
Southern Cal, but why is Southern Cal ranked in the top 25 and Texas A&M is not? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's what's making a lot of people upset because now they're saying that loss for Utah was to a team in the top 25.
And Alabama's win over Texas A&M is not to a top 25 team. I smell something.
The Colts against the Texans tonight, Dad, at Houston.
Houston playing who?
The Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, that ought to be a good one. Yeah. We're not going to pick it. Okay. Everybody took Southern Cal? Okay.
You got to like the Southern Cal cheerleaders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No question about it. Texas A&M at Georgia. Now, you're exactly right. This could bust Georgia's bubble. And A&M has got some, I could almost go with upset here, and I'm going to.
All right.
Texas A&M's going to beat Georgia, Mike.
That's what winners are made of.
Texas A&M's going to beat ding, 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 ding.
That'll stir up the pot.
Georgia's played some tough games lately, and it had to beat Florida, and of course they survived against Auburn, and I just think they're going to come out a little flat, and I like A&M.
Do you know Auburn outgained Georgia in that game over 150 yards?
Did they really?
Yeah, sure did.
I like A&M to cover, but I think Georgia will win a close game. Rico Blankenship will make a field goal and win it.
The guy that wears the dark rim glasses.
Yeah, wild thing, Blankenship, they call it.
And he's the one that lost the ball game a couple of weeks ago, though, didn't he?
Yeah, South Carolina, yeah.
I think my two esteemed Amoses are right to be wary of upset alert. But playing at Georgia and with Georgia still controlling their own destiny for the playoffs, I'll go with Kirby and the Dogs.
All right, Mike, you took Georgia too, didn't you?
Yeah, I took A&M. I took Georgia to win, but A&M to cover.
Okay.
The line is 13, by the way. Georgia's favored by 13.
All right, here's something I'd like to know something about is Georgia Southern at Arkansas State. You know, Arkansas State sits back there. Nobody talks about them, but all they do is win. Tell me how they've been doing.
If they win this game, they'll have 7 wins on the season.
And they'll be heading to a bowl game, won't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that can get a bowl out of the Sun Bowl this year.
And Georgia Southern came back after losing to Troy and really played well, didn't they?
Yeah, they blew out. I can't remember who they were playing.
Who's going to win this game?
I'm going to take Arkansas State at home.
All right, Rice, who do you like?
Arkansas State. In a close one.
This is going to be a good one. Arkansas State will stop the Russian attack and win the game.
Arkansas State is favored by 1.5, I think.
That's going to be a good one. Now, how many is Georgia Southern already in a bowl game or what? Have they won 6 games?
They're both teams are bowl eligible. They're 6-4.
Oh boy.
Arkansas State's a 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, 1.5.
Troy could have just beat Arkansas State and Coastal Carolina.
That's
but
right.
If ifs and buts.
Coastal Carolina's going to hold Troy forever if they don't make it into a bowl game.
Yeah. Okay, SMU at Navy, and I've heard so many people picking Navy here, Mike. You're not one of them, are you?
Well, Navy's only lost, I guess, twice all season. I would imagine Richard McBride will have to play a really good game for Navy's wishbone option attack. I'm going to take SMU, though. I'm going to say SMU outscores them.
Well, Navy came into last week's game against Notre Dame with a high-powered offense, but Notre Dame shut them down completely. And they're playing at Navy, the ugliest stadium in the world. Looks like it's that old Navy boat gray,
Don't they say Army has one of the prettiest stadiums?
It's extremely cold, too.
Yeah, real cold.
Well, that's why I'm going with Navy.
I am, too. I think Navy's gonna pull out the upset here.
SMU's defense is, despite McBride, is not very good, and
Navy keeps the ball away from you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, you're talking about Rice is a freelance writer, and has a lot of publications out there. A article about that young man there
would be a good
one.
Mike has got a talent for good story ideas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, Mike, who do you like?
I think SMU. I think they'll outscore them.
All right, their quarterback's good. I know that. La Tech at UAB. Let me know whether or not the quarterback at La Tech is playing. He did not play last week, and they got beat. La Tech, under Skip Holtz, is one of the highest-scoring teams in the nation.
They're a 6-point underdog. I checked it this morning. Before I came on the show, I wanted to get all the lines. So UAB is favored by 6 at home, and I think La Tech's had a pretty good year.
And the UAB is playing better, Mike.
They had their quarterback was hurt, but he must be back.
UAB is 6.5. This is going to be on at 2:30. It doesn't say if La Tech's quarterback's playing or not.
Is UAB's quarterback back?
It doesn't say any injuries. Usually they'll post it on Scores and Odds.
Well, I'm going to go with UAB to upset them.
That's not an upset.
Who do you like?
I'll take La Tech to pull the upset.
Would it be an upset?
Yep.
Well, I mean, La Tech's the underdog.
Yeah, okay.
I'll go with UAB.
But you're actually calling for an upset with La Tech.
I think La Tech's the better team. UAB is. I mean, they've won 7 games, but man, that Conference USA, some of those teams are just awful.
They really are, aren't they? You look at the Sun Belt, and I guarantee you.
The Sun Belt's just as competitive, maybe even stronger.
Yeah. Okay, Rice, who do you like?
The Blazers.
Okay. Michigan at Indy, and here we go. Indiana has played well down the stretch here. Can they beat Michigan, though, Mike? What do you think?
Michigan, I think, is finally pulled it all together. I'm going to take Michigan.
All right, Michigan. So they'll be getting ready for the big game. Is that right?
Yep. I think about this one.
All right, Rice, who do you like here?
I like Michigan. I've been calling for several weeks now that for the upset of Michigan over Ohio State, and that next game is next week.
I love their fight song. I wish I had a guy out there who could play that fight song.
They might have one of the best fight songs.
Okay, all right, here's a big one. Pittsburgh, the University of Pittsburgh at Virginia Tech. We're going to go to our phones here, Mike. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'll bring you right back.
All right.
What now?
Got 10 minutes.
Oh, boy, you're right. Let's go see who this is here. Good morning. You on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Good. What's going on, Mike?
No, nothing much. What can we do? Is this the mayor?
No, man. This is Jim.
Jim, oh, man, what happened? You oversleep?
No. Remember I told you last week I had knee surgery.
Oh, gosh. Forgot all about it. And
Right?
have you, well, I'm going to get you, are you at home yet, or where are you?
Yeah, I'm at home. I'm doing good.
All right, well, we'll get you a copy of this so you can fill it out,
I'm at the office today.
or I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll hand this over quickly to Rice and let Rice fill it out for you real quick. And
Well, but he can't go through all these games in 1 or 2
won't
minutes.
take it, but it won't take it.
You mean take it to your office, Jim, after the show?
Yeah, that'll be fine if
Yeah.
you just drop it by the
All right, that'll be
I'll
good.
go take it to him.
Well, who did your surgery?
11 and I'll be done.
You had a meniscus surgery or what?
Yeah, I did.
Are you doing better now?
Oh, yeah, doing good.
All right, brother. Everything going good at Bill Jackson Ford Chevrolet on the bypass?
It is. We've been busy.
Well, I tell you what. Have you been watching the show?
I have not.
Well, I tell you what. It's gone real good. We've got several, but we'll have to move quickly to get them all in. So,
You're going ahead. I'll just get it up and drop it by my office at the Ford store.
all right, we'll do.
Done and get it back to you.
Okay,
All right,
I'll
buddy.
bring it at 8:30 and leave it at the Ford store.
And,
Okay, I won't be there then, but I'll get it this afternoon.
Okay.
all right. Thank you, man.
All right, thank y'all.
All right, back to our show. And Frank Jr., I thought you were son. I thought you had moved. Thought you had moved out. All right, here we go quickly, Mike. Pitt at Virginia Tech.
Take Virginia Tech.
And of course,
I'll
Pitt
take Virginia
plays,
Tech.
but Virginia Tech's gonna probably win this game, but Pitt is playing pretty good right now.
They're both. It's a good even.
Won 7 games.
Yeah. All right, Texas at Baylor. I got a feeling Texas is gonna upset Baylor. I'm gonna take Baylor.
You gonna take Baylor? Or you think?
I'm taking Baylor to win the game. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. Thank y'all. I will take Texas to win the game. All right, go ahead.
I think Texas is their season's kind of collapsed. I'm gonna take Baylor.
All right, you gonna take Baylor?
I'm taking Baylor too.
Okay. Purdue at Whiskey. That's Wisconsin.
Everybody takes whiskey.
Everybody gonna take Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a good one.
I just heard from Jim Jackson. He had knee surgery.
Yeah.
So he will not make it in.
He just called in.
Yeah, that was him on the phone, Mike. That was him on the phone.
We're gonna take his picks to him.
All right, everybody takes Wisconsin. All right, here we go. Real quickly, Penn State going up at Ohio State.
Ohio State is almost an 18.5-point favorite.
Everybody in the country is going to be rooting for Penn State to beat Ohio State, except for the folks in Ohio. Mike, who do you like here?
Ohio State kills everybody. I'll take Ohio State.
Me too.
Ohio State they got a quarterback, though, at Penn State that's really good.
Scrappy, yeah.
But I don't.
This game will be 11 a.m. on Fox.
Oh, man, and they don't seem to mind, do they? They sort of like it, don't it?
It's 12 o'clock there.
Exactly right. All right, we're going to keep moving, and we got a bunch more real quickly. Syracuse at Louisville real quick.
Louisville.
All right, Syracuse is not bad, though, but I'll take Louisville.
They've been awful all season.
Well, they came back and played pretty well last week. Memphis at South Florida. Can they continue winning?
Memphis, yes.
Yeah, I'll take Memphis.
All right.
Is the former Alabama quarterback still playing for South Florida?
He's injured.
Okay.
Everybody takes Memphis then. Everybody takes Memphis. All right, we're moving right along here. Cal at Stanford. Cal's playing pretty good, Mike. I thought their quarterback was out, but he must be back.
I don't know. I'll have to look and see.
You know what? They're playing at Stanford. I'm taking Stanford.
Me too.
Rice is a yuppie anyway. He's going to take Stanford.
My first cousin is married to a Stanford grad.
I'm going to take Cal. I've lost on Stanford every time I picked them.
All right, here we go, Cal, and I'm taking Stanford. You're right. They haven't been consistent.
Why did you even put Arkansas at LSU on the list?
I don't know. Go ahead and circle LSU. I know this, that we were going to the game at one time, and I'm not going now. And I was hoping LSU would not be playing at home, but they are. They played at 7 o'clock.
And they're a 43.5-point favorite. They're almost 44-point favorite.
And Troy's right down the road from Baton Rouge playing Louisiana.
3 minutes. Who we got left?
All right, here we go. We got Kansas State and Texas Tech.
Give me Texas Tech.
Who won that game last week? Texas Tech got beat, didn't they? Didn't
they got beat
TCU?
2 points.
All right, who do you like here? Texas Tech? At home?
I do.
I'm going to take them, too.
I do, too.
Everybody takes Texas Tech at home.
I'm sorry.
Temple at Cincinnati. This is a good one. Cincinnati's had a real good year. Can they beat Temple?
Ohio State. I'll take Cincinnati.
All right, so you take Cincinnati. I'm going to take Cincinnati.
I'm going
but
to take
Temple,
Cincinnati.
Look out for Temple. They're not bad. Stanford at Auburn. Everybody takes Auburn. West Carolina at Alabama. Everybody takes West Carolina. No, excuse me. Auburn and Alabama. Okay, here, let's go below Troy. Let's go to Boston College at Notre Dame.
Oh my God! Why are we picking these games?
Well, I thought I was running out, and then I found some more. I'm taking Notre Dame. Everybody got Notre Dame? Okay, here's a good one. University of Central Florida playing at Tulane.
I'll take UCF, but that'll be a good game.
I'm going to take Tulane.
All right.
I'm going to take Tulane to upset UCF. Y'all going to take UCF, is that right?
Yeah.
Central Florida. All right, Minneapolis at Northwestern.
Minnesota.
Can they come back? I'll take Minnesota.
Northwestern has
That's the most games we've ever picked.
Yeah, it's a pretty good bit. I'm now Troy and Louisiana Lafayette, or whichever you want to call them, playing in Lafayette, Louisiana. That is a 4 o'clock kickoff. Troy needs to win.
This is my lock of the week. Troy is a 14-point underdog, so buy your half and give them a 14.5. I think this is going to be an extremely close game. Unfortunately, I think Troy will lose, probably by less than a touchdown, but I like Lafayette to win the game.
I'm taking Troy to win. I think Troy's on a roll. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I like Troy to win the football game. And the score I'm picking is Troy 45 to 31. 45-31. Wow. Troy wins in a shootout.
I almost got it reversed. I got Louisiana 44, Troy 33. Troy just had a little more defense. They have a great chance. But Louisiana's got a good offense too, and so I think they'll score 44 points, just like what Southern Miss and Arkansas State did.
This will be one of the biggest wins in Troy history.
They have 3 running backs that have rushed for over 700 yards.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you this. You're right. They'll try to keep the ball away from Troy. But I'll tell you this. This is going to be one of the biggest wins in Troy history. Remember, I said it, ladies and gentlemen.
The press conference said yesterday, it was one of the best press conferences I've heard all season. He said that we have been a horrible disappointment. He said that we're finally playing our best football, but no telling what this season could have been. And that came from Troy's own quarterback saying that.
Yeah. All right, what is your score on that game, Mike?
I'm going to take Lafayette 49-45.
49-45. What a game it will be.
I wonder what the over-under on this game is.
Will there be any television, too?
ESPN Plus, I believe.
ESPN Plus.
Well, we made it through all the games. Amazing.
Exactly, and I hope you have a great weekend. Of course, we'll be here tomorrow for doing the same thing. Hope you are looking forward to it like I am. And, of course, it's been a great day. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you Friday morning, bright and early for Today in L.A.